Yo, 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 what it do, man? EK Reelspicy. Another delusional woman. We're going to get into this clip where it's another delusional woman. Surprise, another delusional one. And this one, she swears she's too good to go to a Cheesecake Factory for a first date. Too good. Let's go ahead and get into this clip, and then I'll let you know what I think when we come back. Like that.
Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
What?
Would you want me to open the door for you? Look, are you
She locked the door.
recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it?
Wow.
I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been
Wow.
pretty nice, but, I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know,
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know
and
you.
I can respect that. I can respect that. When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. Just, we're not
Again,
maybe
I don't
we're not
know
there.
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman. I got myself all made
There's nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Wow. my
Yes,
goodness.
there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay. Well, look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean, no?
See,
I
I
know you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs
I understand.
for an hour, right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, you know, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy restaurant as Aria. Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been, but if we're late, I mean, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot.
I mean,
I'm waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, the
No.
equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you don't
just said-
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I will
that.
die.
What?
That's embarrassing.
What?
As I said, I have very specific certain expectations.
Bruh.
I can tell
Bruh.
it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm
Respectfully.
gonna drop you off at home.
Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm up.
So
Hey,
you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Listen.
At the parking space.
If I don't feel
Can you
respected,
see?
I am not gonna go through with the rest of
come
the
on.
day.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, you are serious. You really leaving?
dead serious.
I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made
No.
some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise.
No.
Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't.
No. See, look. I want you to look at her face right now. And then look at it about a couple minutes ago before he wanted to change plans and cancel the date. I'm gonna go ahead and take you to the crib. It looked like, oh man, that's a little bit of humble slice. It's a humble pie right there. You know, see, a lot of these women, they want to play you and press your buttons and see what you'll go for. And I appreciate. I was about to be like, bro, what's taking you so long, my guy? What's taking you so long? You could have just been like, hey, let me get up on out of here then. I swear to God, that she was talking, it was a whole bunch of dust being kicked up. We out of here. And that's if you lucky. Because she might have had the Uber to the crib. You could look and take an Uber in style back to your crib. Do you understand me? See, this is the type of shit, like I said, man. And what's crazy, right? They'll play you, push you to that line. And if you go for it, if you say, yeah, all right, cool, we're going to compromise, she will not respect you. She will not respect you. So it's a catch-22 always, man. That's why it's just imperative that when you find a woman that's playing games with you and she don't really even know her own emotions. She don't even know what she really want, right? Other than just to run things and to feel like she's the prize and that the guy is always just trying to keep from fumbling her. And you got to just be a guy who just is afraid of losing her or something like that. You know what I mean? And you always got to continue to keep her and her emotional swings at bay. That's highly stressful, fellas. Right? So you get a woman who is more straight up, you know, and she's going to let you know what she's thinking, let you know what she's feeling. You guys can communicate. She loves and adores you. You love and adore her. And it's just a mutual thing. And you could tell the difference. A woman like her is going to play games and act like what you do is not right. Meanwhile, she gets to do whatever the hell she wants to do at any moment in time. Right? Even though she's in the wrong. And this is what women do, right? She got the whole phone out. Like he's the one that's wrong. He's the one that just did her wrong, right? She got the whole phone out recording it. Like, I'm going to put this on display. This guy ain't up to par, right? Meanwhile, he did what he was supposed to do, right? He gave her options. Told her, hey, look, we could check this out. We could do this. We could do that, right? Or according to the time we could meet, we're going to do it accordingly, right? He probably tried to get as much information from her so that he can make the right decisions, right? So it depends on what time of the day, probably, right? That they can go out and do something. So he planned it accordingly. So he was on time. She made him wait an hour outside. Instead of telling him, hey, you know what, come a little later. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Come a little later. He got dressed, got ready, and got all the way over there to pick her up, and she wasn't even ready. Not 5 minutes late, not 10 minutes late, not 15 minutes late, but an hour late. And you got the nerve to complain about what the man is doing, about where y'all at. You should be happy if a guy took you anywhere. Cause I was like, look, I'll take you. We'll come back and do this a different day. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not ready. We could come back and do this a different day or something like that. You know what I mean? Especially a first date. That's not a good impression. See, a lot of women act like the first impression is always theirs to choose and judge. You know, and it's not necessarily the case. I mean, as a man, you're looking at that too. I know quite a few men are thirsty. I get it, right? Some men, they'll take it. They'll deal with it like I thought this guy was going to do. But I'm glad he put his foot down. But again, as soon as he put his foot down, her face turned like that. Like, wow, okay, damn, you know what? I'm lonely. I don't really got no men, right? She act like she got a whole bunch of options, and she's this bad bitch, and she's this great looking woman, and she got all these options. Meanwhile, probably a lot of men don't even get this far with her to take her out, right? So she acting like this and that. Meanwhile, she's thinking, uh-oh, I might have to go back home again, play with my pets. You know what I mean? I might have to go back home, be lonely, sip on my mimosa, sip on my favorite drink, and I'm going to bed lonely. That's what she's thinking. So I'm so glad, man, this guy said, you know what? I'm going to take the next one out. I'm going to give the next one a try. There's too many of you guys. It's too many. It's too many. And she's not even hot. She's not even hot. She's a little better than average. Nothing wrong with it. Average. Stop acting like you that one. Like you fine. Like he lucky to have you. Come on now. You know, okay, so maybe you don't like Cheesecake Factory. Maybe it's not the best place for you, right? It's nothing wrong. Talking about compromising. It's nothing wrong with going inside, enjoying what they have. It's got to be something on the menu that you like. A few drinks. Got to know him, right? Have some conversation in a much better, more reasonable, more sweet way, more endearing way to say, you know what, let's try something different next time. And then you got the nerve to say, well, let's call another place up like he's just some lapdog assistant, you know, at your beck and call all the time. Women like to tell men that they not slaves and that, you know, they don't need to do this or that, and they don't want to be told this or that. They don't like structure at all, but they can't wait to give a man structure. They can't wait to tell a man what to do. You see the list she run down? I mean, that list she had to practice. It was no stuttering. It was no stuttering. She was ready for it. She was ready for that action. As long as it's a list and priorities for men. You know what I mean? Like men don't have expectations. Like being on time. Like being cooperative. Like having the right attitude. Like not being on your phone while we on the date. Certainly not recording me trying to play me. You know what I'm saying? So this is interesting stuff, man. This is interesting stuff. Tell me what y'all think, man. Tell me what y'all think. To me, this is way too often. And this is what I mean about self-centered. Self-centered women are poison pills. Let me say it again. Self-centered women are poison pills. And I'm seeing way too much of it. Guys are waking up. I think a lot of these women are just putting way too much focus and attention on the wrong thing. You talk about materialistic things and things that really have nothing to do with the relationship, but you can't find a good man. You know, a guy pulls up in a nice car. By all accounts, looks like he's a well-mannered guy. Looks like he is at least trying to please you, give you a good experience, give you a good time. And this is how you do them. Not only are you on the phone, but you're on the phone trying to embarrass him, put him on the spot when he's taking you out. To me, it's like women just like to sit back, judge what you do, judge every move that you make.
I have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. Stand on it. Stand on it.
I understand where you're coming from.
Now you understand. Now you understand. Yo, did she lock him out his own whip, out his own car, man? Cold game. Now, she said that she just met this dude, right? They haven't known each other long enough. Well, the hell off my goddamn controls, dog. The hell off my controls in my car. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch my radio. No nothing. If we don't know each other like that, don't be touching no buttons in my whip. But she locked him out. What kind of nerve? That's the first sign right there that, you know, since this video played, you ain't playing. She the type of burn your shit. She the type to lock you out your crib. He might have had to toss her out right here. You know what I'm saying? He might have had to say, look, let me go ahead and end this right now. I know this is going to be trouble. You know, when she be eating on the regular, you know what I'm saying? She be eating bison booty. I mean, what the hell, bro? Like, what's going on over here, man? Like, what really do you be eating? That's just such a privilege to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to know. I wonder what you eat on a regular basis. What we talking about, man? You just, I guess you need a pedestal. You know what I mean? You need to be floating through the air or something. I swear, man, the level of delusion is through the roof. It's through the roof, man. Nothing wrong with being light. I love a woman who's light, who can play a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Smile a little bit. And it's like if they press your buttons, it's more like for laughter, like with you, not against you. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, all right, let's, you know, we could be in character. We could play a little bit. Nothing wrong with a little back and forth banter. But when it's ill intent, right? You recording me and you trying to play me. And obviously you upset about something. And you got this sprinkle of delusion about yourself. I think it makes you much more unattractive when you have an arrogant personality. And the way you treat people, like people got to understand, right? You got to look, then you got the personality that comes through with your looks. And you might be a 9 or an 8, because I don't think nobody's really a 10. You might be a 9 or an 8, maybe even a high 7. But that personality, man, if it's nasty, you mistreat people, you don't know how to have a good time, you're always uptight, you got anger issues, right? You make the wrong facial expressions all the time. On the negative end, like you got a stank face, then that brings your score down. Depending on the level of stank we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Your score goes down. And I think a lot of women don't understand this. They think that little attitude, it's a fine line between having a little sass, a little something that, you know, especially when you throw it into with seduction and you're trying to play a little hard to crack, trying to play a little hard to get. Okay, that might work for some men, but when you too tough to crack, or when you trying to play somebody, or when you got this masculine energy that you're trying to match with the man, and it makes a man say, damn, well, let me, you know, and he's trying to be patient with you. Listen, your score goes down. No man wants to deal with that. No man wants to deal with that. And it has nothing to do with a man being weak, and everything to do with a man choosing better, period. He's just not dealing with nobody that's not on his level. Women like to say that you're not on their level. Sometimes it pays not to be. Sometimes it's better not to be on their level, and to move forward and to move away. And she's one of them. And this is what I was saying before, right? A lot of women, you know, they say you're not on their level, but they don't want nobody on their level. They want to treat the guy like this. They want to treat a guy like he's below their level. You know, it's almost like they like to play that role. Like, you know what, he ain't really on my level. You know what I'm saying? Look at all these hoops I got him jumping through. It's all about ego, and they complain about it act like he's weak or he's not a real man because he jumps through him. And look how she leaned in him too. She leaned into him like, you know, you could tell she knows that the guy is not happy with the situation here. But you see how she having fun with it. You know, she's pressing his buttons. And it's almost like she wants him to get upset. But I like the fact that he stood his ground. He kept his composure, right? Because that's what men do, right? As you become older and more mature, you get better control over your emotions and more discipline. And you can see the bigger picture. And you could, especially when you see something that you know you can handle. You laugh at it, take a step back, and say, okay, well look, what you could have had was this, but now you're not getting nothing. Now you're not getting nothing. I'm not gonna play with you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the arrogance, man, and the intention and the want to press your buttons so that you feel insecure, so that you feel that you're not of value and quality, and that you feel that you're not on her level. These women want you to feel this way. They want to humble a man. And the bottom line is, sheer numbers say that it's too many of you to be doing this. The only reason why y'all feel like y'all got leverage, right? Women. The only reason why y'all feel like y'all got leverage is because men let you. They want and value a woman company. That's really what it is, right? But if men, and it's happening more and more, but as men respect themselves more and up their standards and quality and what they're looking for and realize the signs for what they are and the red flags for what they are, they're going to skip you real quick because there's 5 of you. For every one of you, there's another 5 to 10 that look about the same level, right? So now it's just a difference between your personalities and your morals and some of the other qualities and traits other than your looks and the lust that I might have for you. And the more men do this, the more men's going to have much more leverage, especially for quality men, like you say you want. But I'm starting to question that. I'm starting to question if you want really quality men anyway. I heard her say that she gets courted. I get courted. If you get courted, then where you at? Where your man at? Sounds like this is your first date. So where your man at? This is probably your first date this year, probably. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the best date you've been on. And yet you get courted and you get better places than this. If you get better places than this, then why are you so gung-ho about being in certain places? See, a lot of these women, see, again, the cap is real. A lot of these women never get to go to these fancy restaurants unless they're the ones spending it, right? They take their little extra money. They get a bonus at work. They take the little extra money. They might get their tax return and go to a Ruth Chris or whatever these little steak places that they go to, that or whatever else little bougie spots they go to. They probably rarely go to these places, and they use these dates to go to them and then act like that's their standard. It's the opposite. You using these to go to a place that you don't go to. If you went to them, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to you, right? This is how women work anyway, a lot of times, right? If you look at what they're pressing, usually it's the opposite of what they're pressing. You know what I mean? It's usually the opposite of what they're talking about, right? She don't got no money to spend, so she want to spend yours. But you're broke if you don't spend it on her. See what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that women do. They shame you into doing what they want you to do. This happens a lot, man. Listen. Now, I'm no pimp, but I always had a saying that if anybody is pimping, it's me. If anybody's pimping, it's me. You know what I mean? I'm not no pimp, but if anybody is pimping, it's me. You're not about to pimp me, ma. You gonna go out there and get money and bring it back to me before I do any of that, right? Because I could call it how I see it, and you're gonna respect me while I'm around, or I'm not gonna be around. Period. So all that shit's out the window if you're around me. And so again, this chick, she gets courted. Where? Who? You know what I'm saying? Who's courting you? And if you're courted and you're used to getting courted, what are guys getting for them courting? Looks like you're not with a man at all. This is the first date. So somebody lying. So either guys are courting you and and not getting a return on their investment, or you're not getting courted and you're bullshitting and capping, which I call that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So again, a lot of women, instead of changing themselves and getting better with themselves and improving themselves, they improve their standards. They up their standards and ask for someone else to do the work instead of themselves. That's how it works for them, man. And I noticed she said that it's too early, right, for a man to come into her house or do any of that type of things, which, okay, you got boundaries, and I respect that. But you notice the list that she said, right? You got to protect her, cherish her, and all these things that a man, really a boyfriend or a husband would do. Not a first date. Now, of course, as a man, any woman in my possession, even friends, are protected to a certain level. So regardless of the fact, if you're a woman and you're around me, you're going to get a level of protection from me. That's just what it is, being around a man. Right? But you can't expect, see, it's the requirement and the expectations for me, right? Where women just don't value it. When they walk in the door, it comes. It's a requirement. And it's hard to really appreciate something like that that's given to you all the time, that you're entitled to. Qualities and values from a man just right there. And all you have to do is show up. Again, when she says, I do all a woman has to do, the absolute first thing she mentioned was makeup. And so that gives you a level of her mindset. I have no clue how old this woman is. But again, it lets you know. It gives you a clue as to what she thinks about and what she thinks a woman should do. It's just all tied to their looks. And you're just lucky to be blessed with their presence. If you don't get that bullshit up out of here, man. And see, this is the type of woman, too, that will get her friends and let her friends' opinions seep into the relationship. Right? And again, I don't have a problem with if my girl has friends. Like, I'm cool. I encourage that. It's all about influence to me. You know what I mean? Good influence, bad influence, that's all that matters. Right? I want my girl to be around good influence. That's it. Man or woman. Right? She's going to work with somebody. She has her own thing. So if she's going to work with people, it's all about good influence, being in the right environment, positive environment, right? Something that's going to help her. That's all I care about. But, a lot of these women, they confide in their friends, right? And they tell them about certain different things and certain different details they have no business knowing about your relationship. Without your input, without your side as a man told at the same time. So you're only getting it from one side, and they're confiding in their friends, and their friends are going to be on their side, of course, right? Because that's their friend. And so they're going to respond and tell them, girl, and, be on their side and just feed back one side, right? And usually that's going to be negative for the man. That's going to be something that the man probably not going to want that messaging said back to her. And, instead of your girl being mature enough to be able to get that feedback and filter it and realize, you know what, I'm talking to my friend, right? So of course she's going to say this, right? And so I'm not going to take it too much to heart. We just going to talk shit and we going to just, you know what I mean? And it's just somebody I'm venting to. Cool, do that, right? But a lot of times you take what she says to heart and you start comparing, other people's relationships, and you start listening to what your girls say. Girl, I wouldn't deal with that. Or girl, there's too many men out here to be dealing with that. Or wooty wooty whoop. And next thing you know, now, like I said, certain different influences are seeping into your relationship in a negative way. Right? These are the type of things that just adds more and more stress. When you're talking about more and more stress on the relationship, and when you're talking about being with someone for a long time, these type of things chip away at your bond, right? It chips away. It makes cracks in the foundation. The foundation gotta be tight. And that, I feel like the foundation is the bond between you two as a couple. Nothing should be able to come in between that. And so if you got friends who are influencing you, that's already chipping away at that bond. And that's your foundation. Anything you build on top of that is going to crumble if that's not solid. any type of stress, any type of things that happen, sickness, someone lose their job, then that's when it comes all the way down. That's when it comes down fully. It crumbles. And so these are the type of signs a man has to look at, man. Is this woman really worth it for me to really work hard, go out every day, work hard, protect, build, as a man too, like go against my nature to be with one woman and really commit and build something with this woman? She got to be special, and she got to be willing to compromise and willing to be reasonable and work with you. If she's not, you got to follow the signs, gentlemen. Another thing too, man, you know, as a woman, especially if you want a quality man, okay? And a lot of women say they want guys who earn a lot, who make a good living, 6 figures or more, right? Usually you're going to be an entrepreneur, or you're going to be a one who's in corporate America, or you know, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, you know, somebody who pretty astute. Maybe they go out and they go to dinner functions and they got partners, whatever, right? Where you might have to accompany your man somewhere, right? And a woman with an attitude that just can't hide her displeasure. Maybe the situation she's going through isn't the most comfortable, right? It isn't one that she is sitting on cloud 9 about. You know, she's not having the most fun time, but you know, maybe it was for a purpose, right? You at a function, you're somewhere, maybe that someone is annoying you, right? One of the partner's wives are annoying you or whatever. There's some kind of little drama there. Being able to control your emotions, right? Being able to control your ego and for the better good is an often overlooked skill. Any man of quality will want their woman to be able to possess, playing their role, doing the things that they're supposed to be doing while with your man, having a better, more neutral look, more pleasant look, just for the situation, right? Just to help your man look good. Oftentimes women forget how they act, and how they act in public is a direct reflection of their man. Some guys look at women like this and realize, well, damn, she's not only is she ungrateful, not only does she have disdain and disrespect for me, but she doesn't even know how to play the game. She doesn't know how to keep it clean in public. She doesn't know how to keep the drama low in public. They really just can drain a man. And you know, here it is, she's complaining about going to the Cheesecake Factory, but it's probably not even about the food. It's probably not even about having quality meals. It's just, you know, just to be able to say and post on Instagram or on social media about, hey, this man did this for me. Half of y'all, that's all y'all do, is take pictures and compare your experiences to the next woman. And that's why y'all so miserable. Y'all so miserable and can't find a man and lonely, and probably don't even have friends. Because I see a lot of women I know, right? A couple of my girlfriends, they don't even have girlfriends. They rather have guys for their friends, because women play games. They do the same thing they do to men to other women. It's all about them. And hell, they'll try to take your man and all that just so they can feel better than you and feel like, you know, they're the one of the group. You know what I mean? They're always trying to compete with each other. And so that's why so many lost women out here, man, they don't try to even OG themselves, right? And help each other out. They always try to compete, right? They don't, oh, I got married first. Let me show you how to get married, girl. Let me show you how to find your man, you know? And really ain't even just like trying to help them find it. It's just throwing shade and, you know, so again, it'd be a lot of this be just straight pure ego and self-centered mentality. You know, it's one thing if a person's trying to push you for a greater good, for both of you guys to do better. No problem. Some people need that. Everybody needs that. Really, everybody needs somebody to help push them in a certain way. But it's got to be for both of y'all benefit. And truth be told, like on the first date, you're supposed to be getting to know somebody. It's hard to get to know somebody at a restaurant. Y'all both got a mouthful of food. And really, it's just, especially with these women nowadays, they just on their phone, on social media, taking pics, taking video. And, you know, how you getting to know each other? You know what I mean? So to me, it's about meeting somewhere, a nice place that you guys meet up and get to know each other, have conversation. Usually I like to talk before that, FaceTime and really vibe and see if our personalities mesh. If we like to talk about and speak about the same things or similar things. If we have a certain commonality that we could really make this thing work and give us a certain amount of chemistry. So it's not necessarily something that we're pressing when we meet each other, right? You know, we could both be ourselves and just have a good time. You know, this whole like, I need to be at a great restaurant the first night. I mean, I don't understand your criteria behind that. I don't understand your reasoning behind that. A lot of guys just like, skip. Let's go to the next one. But let me know what y'all think, man. Hit them comments hard. Like, share, subscribe. Get at me. Bang on that like button. Bang on that like button. But until next time, be easy. Gone.